Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. For today's episode, I want to bring you updates on Bobrisky. Yes, Bobrisky. I don't think Bobrisky, this year has been a rough one for Bobrisky. And my prayer goes out to him because he is in hot soup. Bobrisky went from frying pan to fire. Now, for some of you who don't know, Bobrisky was supposed to spend 6 months in jail or prison for the abuse of Naira and money laundering charges, which was later dropped. And according to Bobrisky, he paid 15 million Naira for those charges to be dropped. Now, everybody, when Bobrisky was in jail, kind of rallied around Bobrisky to say this is not right. Every Nigerian has one way or the other abused the Naira. We have videos. Cubana chief priest, Bobrisky didn't even pray as much as Cubana chief priest, but he pleaded not guilty and he was given an option of fine. But Bobrisky actually pleaded guilty because his lawyer advised him to do so, saying that because he's a first-time offender, he will not go to jail. But things turned around and he was sentenced to 6 months in prison. Now, when Bobrisky was in prison in a furnished apartment, Bobrisky started making audios, calling people, begging for money, people soliciting for funds. A whole lot of people donated for Bobrisky when he was in prison, when he came out of prison. Don Jazzy was one of those people. But the bone of contention was the call he made to a friend, asking to borrow 4 million Naira. The friend actually borrowed him the money, saying that, listen, I need this money for this and that. Could you send that by the end of July, which was when he was coming out of jail? So the guy was like, okay, no problem. When you come out, they will unfreeze your account and you pay me back the money. He gave Bobrisky 4 million Naira. Bobrisky came out, listed a whole lot of people who gave him over 100 million Naira. And Bobrisky did not pay this guy. This guy took the whole matter to VDM, as we all know how that went down. And that has been ongoing, basically online. So VDM went to House of Representatives to talk about the situation because he was invited. Bobrisky was also invited, but Bobrisky was a no-show. Now, allegedly, there was another invitation for Bobrisky to show. I think maybe the next day he was supposed to honor the House of Rep invitation. Bobrisky decided to flee the country. He was going through semi-borders. That was where the immigration services apprehended Bobrisky. And then Bobrisky is now chilling in jail. Listen, it's not funny. My heart goes out to him. But the reason why I'm laughing is just, this guy has just everything that happened to Bobrisky caused for himself. Maybe the abuse of Naira, I don't think that was his fault because every Nigerian citizen has paid the Naira. So I don't think that was, yes, he was still the one abusing the Naira, but the punishment did not fit the crime, especially knowing that somebody else was let go of that crime. But what happened, all the sequence of events that happened after then, was as a result of Bobrisky putting himself in a situation that he shouldn't have been in. Now Bobrisky is in jail. And according to people, he's locked up in the female section of the prison because they couldn't put him in the male, which was what, according to them, the prison warders, what happened the first time, they said that they couldn't put him in the male prison because he's not a man, and they couldn't put him in the female prison because he's not female. So now they had to put him in female prison, evacuating some of the prisoners, the female prisoners from there to make room for Bobrisky. Now, Bobrisky were thinking, okay, how are we going to solve this problem? How are we going to help? How are we going to help Idris? We're just sitting down, still thinking about this whole thing, and then news surfaced online that Bobrisky has been rushed to hospital. I mean, Bobrisky is transitioning. He has boobs now. So according to what people were saying, his boobs started developing problems or he was having pains and then he was rushed to the hospital. Online in-laws or online relations have been going crazy over this whole thing. Everybody giving their own sense. As this whole thing was going on, Gistlover released a list of gay people in Nigeria. Don Jazzy was one of those people on that list. And Don Jazzy donated, I think it was 5 million or 3 million to Bobrisky when he was in jail or when he came out of jail. So people are now putting two and two together. saying that Gistlover has allegedly outed Don Jazzy, and then the fact that Don Jazzy was on that list and he donated to Bobrisky, then there must be a connection. Now, there was a comedian who is trying to be a musician, Oluwadolas. When Gistlover released that list, Oluwadolas shared a message saying that there was a celebrity, or there is a top exec that he wanted to go into the music industry, and the person told him that if he wants to be successful, he wants to be famous, that he should bend down so that he could, before he would give him or help him to blow in the music industry. Now, Oluwadolas is a popular comedian, so he could have done that himself, which I think is what he is doing right now. I think what got people talking was when Don Jazzy commented on Oluwadolas' post, saying that, okay, if this is true, name the person. If you don't name the person, then you are lying. So a lot of people took that personal, because they said if he names this person or if he mentions any name, people are going to ask for proof. Because look at the situation between Bobrisky and the person who recorded him. So they just said, listen, it is very good that this guy did not name anybody, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a lose-lose situation. People now started attacking Don Jazzy. That Don Jazzy, you gave Bobrisky 3 million. You're on Gistlover's list. And now, Oluwadolas, who you have kind of mentored, is coming out to say these things. What is going on? Now, Don Jazzy's DJ now decided to chip in. He made a post, which I think made it worse, because sometimes you just have to leave things to die down. And he said, this social media, I always say, make the good way person do no turn to bad. I can 100% tell you that Don Jazzy has never met Bobrisky before. He has never spoken to him before. He doesn't have his number. Neither does Bobrisky have Don Jazzy's. A mutual friend of Bob came out to raise funds when he was out of jail and reached out to Don Jazzy to donate. As for Oluwadolas, I was the person who introduced him to Don Jazzy. He and his little brother, there is no beef. In a society that narratives are being thrown around about reaching the top in music through sexual favors, especially artists and label bosses, it is only right for him to want to oust those perpetrators from the game by first identifying them. Let's not also rule out people who cry wolf to promote a song or an agenda. Notice the said person decided to push a song in the very next day. Sometimes make we dey use our head think. It is not only headbutting people. Shalom. So that was what Don Jazzy's DJ Big N released in defense of Don Jazzy. And people have been saying, listen, my guy, you should have just ignored the whole thing. You should have just kept your mouth shut. You should have just, because now you're trying to legitimize the allegations around Don Jazzy. I mean, Don Jazzy is an icon. Don Jazzy is a mogul. Don Jazzy is a talented human being who has produced countless talents, countless hits. We love Don Jazzy. But in the whole middle of Diddy's situation, I think everybody is now using torchlight to look at every man, basically. Men right now, I don't even want to be a man right now. Because let's say if I even smile, I have a man friend that we've been broing together and just having bromance. People will literally think that something is going on between the two of them. I don't think people care much about lesbos as they care about, gay men, because I don't know, why do you think much emphasis is on agege than the other side? I don't know what the situation is, because the reality is there are so many people, man and women, in this categories or in this spectrum, because the spectrum goes a whole long way. There are people who are full-blown and there are people who are just curious. So do you think that Bobrisky's situation, or Don Jazzy donating to Bobrisky, Don Jazzy donated 100 million naira to very dark black man. I mean, Don Jazzy, according to what people are saying, is very generous. If he likes your cause, he's going to donate to you. Do you think that he's just being dragged into this whole thing for just being a good human being, or do you think there's little evidence or little truth there? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like and share. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.